Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Look, Vince is froze already. Your boys are back with another episode of the Piledriver. And Vince, boy, do we got some stuff to go over today. We got Baddies and the Beast this coming Saturday, July 20th, live at Lorain County Community College, where we will crown the first ever Baddies champion.
Man, we got 2 shows that day. 2 shows.
Doubleheader show. And not only is it a doubleheader, it's already been announced. Last week we kicked out the format for how the Baddies Cup is going to work, but it has since been added that the final match, the triple threat match for the title, will be in a steel cage.
Oh, hell yeah.
3 steel cage matches. Dude, get yourself a ticket. You can't beat it. General admission tickets, $25 for 2 shows.
2 shows.
3 cage matches. Where else are you going to find 3 cage matches in one day?
In one day.
But
2 shows, 3 days. Or two
that's,
shows, 1 day.
That's not all. Tonight, we have very special guest. Madame President Sebastian LeShawn will be joining the podcast here shortly to talk about her upcoming match against Kolbe Max in that first round.
Very exciting.
Can't wait to have Madame President on, talk a little smack with her, and then obviously we're going to touch on what Storm had to say last week. So, Vince, let's get it started. And speaking of, it is time. We have Madame President she has joined the waiting room, so let's go ahead and not waste any time. Madam President Sebastian LeShawn, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Thank you so much for joining the podcast tonight.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Pretty
good.
Solid weekend of wrestling. We had RSW out in Parma. We had AIW Absolution in where was it, Akron?
Cleveland.
It was at Temple. Okay, it was in Temple live in Cleveland. And then, like I said, obviously this coming weekend is the Mega Baddies and the Beast Cup. Are you ready for this weekend, Madam President?
I am ready. I am very, very excited for this weekend, and I cannot wait to see all these baddies in the same room.
I think that's my favorite thing about this cup that Brandon's put together. Like, this room is stacked. Yeah. And, as we've said as in the coming weeks or, past weeks leading up to this, we don't know. Any of y'all could win. It could literally go. There's not one favorite, and there's not one match where you can look at like, oh, that's an easy dub right there. None of y'all. Mm-hmm. This is stacked. I can't wait. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking of the cup, I know you've heard, I know you've seen the format. How do you feel about this format? You win your first match, you go into a 6-person tag match where you have to be friends with these people to ultimately win before you make it to the finals.
Well, I actually have a lot of experience in 6-man tag matches, so as long as the other girls are willing to cooperate, I feel like we'll make it.
Yeah. Perfect. Look, Vince, here you go. This is the perfect thing that she just said just now, because as long as the other girls cooperate. Now, in the first round, you're facing Kolbe Max. In the other first round match, Stxrm Garcon will be facing, who is she facing? I forgot.
Angel Metro.
Angel Metro, that's correct. So if Storm wins and Madam President wins, and you guys, I don't know how these tag teams are going to be split up. Maybe it's random draw in the back, put all 6 names in and just pull. But if you and Storm end up on the same team, do you think ultimately again, we're going to get into that. So we won't get into it right now. We'll get into that. Storm had some words last week, but Do you think Storm and yourself would be able to put the differences aside if you were to have to team up?
You know, I like to think I've grown a lot since the last time we met, so I can assure her that I'll keep my hands off of her long enough. And hopefully
until you make it to that triple threat match, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then you want to crush her. That's where
yeah, and finding out that it's a steel cage match.
Well, and you can
all
use
the more motivation I need.
Right. You can use that time as tag partners too to potentially scout some maneuvers to be used in that last match. So you never know what you can do with when you're friends before you're foes.
Now, and as Tommy stated in the comments, I got it up on the screen right now. We need extra protection for Madam President.
Ah, yes.
That is, something that I look at this other crop of girls, and there's only maybe one or two that have what you have, a secret service. They have somebody in their corner.
Yes.
Now, with that extra protection, is it, obviously, does it feel a little bit better knowing that Tessin has your back?
Well, if the girls are really worried, they really should be worried about me being by myself, because I feel as though I'm the most lethal when I'm by myself.
Okay.
See, I don't need my Secret Service to handle my business. And with everyone saying that I'm not being protected, that's not the case. What is being protected is the Baddies Championship that I will have on July 20th. So I am going to handle my business as I always do, individually and alone.
Now, let's talk about your opponent a little bit. You have Kolbe Max. We're not too familiar. Colby's been on the pod before. Yep. We've seen her wrestle a few times. She's not bad. We did see her at Colossal Con. We've seen her a few times with RSW as well. Yes. And but the times we have seen her with RSW, the very first time she was a little bit softer. Mm-hmm. And then the first time she was a little bit scary. The first time she was scary. And then she was dark, and she kind of gained some clarity. And the next time we saw her, she was a better wrestler. She had a more lighter side gimmick.
Yeah. A little more country gimmick.
Talking to Tim Cross and the guys from West Virginia, she is Tommy. I'm gonna put this on the screen because it makes me laugh. Sebastian's gonna make a grilled cheese out of Kolbe.
Oh.
But Kolbe is no slouch. Again, this crop of girls from the time we saw her at RSW 1 to the next time we saw her at RSW 2, I saw a vast improvement in character, in ring work. So again, don't sleep on her, Madam President. That's all I'm saying to you.
Absolutely.
You're familiar. You met Kolbe, so I just, and then again, obviously going into the 6-man tag match, if you're able to pick up the victory over Kolbe Max, and then hopefully your team able to get a victory in the steel cage. How do you feel about Brandon adding the cage? And ultimately he did leave it up to the fans. He left it up to us. And I mean, as soon as he said that, I knew it was going to be in a cage. But it has been announced official. How do you feel? Have you ever been in a cage match before? First of all,
I actually have. A couple years ago, I got to wrestle with Brandon in a steel cage.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah. See, now me, as we all know, everybody, Frank's in the chat, woohoo, and me. I'm surprised he didn't boo me in the chat because they like to boo the ref. Now, as we all know, I'm a referee for Mega Championship Wrestling now, and let me tell you how excited I am to, number one, make my debut at the college at home, because that's home base is the college. It'll be my first show I get to ref at the college, and then to be around a steel cage match to be in the referee position for a steel cage match. I'm excited.
That's so cool.
I've only seen one or two from a fan's perspective, like, indie wrestling, AIW. I think I saw one at OCW. They had a pretty good one between Ron Mathis and Derek Dillinger, but I've never gotten to be as close as I'm going to get to be, this coming Saturday. And I'm pretty giddy about it. If we're not, if we're being honest.
Yes. Okay.
There's something about a steel cage that just gets your blood rushing
So
and just
so
everything, you know.
excited.
It's like, you know, animalistic, man. I mean, you have a cage that's gonna have people in it that are gonna fight for their survival. So, of course,
It's
gotta get excited for that.
gonna get wild.
It's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be wild. It's gonna be fun. This coming Saturday, if you don't have your tickets, pick them up. Head over to Mega Championship Wrestling on Facebook. Get from the website. You can get tickets. You can message the Piledriver directly and get tickets from us. We have tickets as well. Madam President, I don't want to keep you all night. So you know, I do have a few more questions for you, though. Obviously, so you're one of the homegrown talents from Mega. Mega's where you grew up, correct?
Yes,
That is correct. Growing up with Brandon as your trainer, how was that feel? Because I mean, as I come to training now, I see it. So I like when he was in the wrestling side, obviously, because he was in it. You said you were in a tag team with him in a steel cage. So like, how was it learning from Brandon?
Brandon has always kind of been like, well, he's obviously been like a super father figure and mentor to me. So
I can feel that already, and I've only been here a year.
Even like coming in, like I watched a lot of his stuff and I kind of tried to maneuver my style to be a little bit similar to his because he has a very hard-hitting style as well. And I always like caught on to that and was like, I want to do that. So having him in my ear all the time and coaching me and like taking me through the motions, it's always been like a very insightful like experience.
Hell
So
Yeah,
I mean, I love learning stuff from Brandon. Like when he was showing us little things the other day last week when I was out there with the trainees. He was, you know, I was his guinea pig essentially, and he was showing me this and showing me that. And it's good. He's a good teacher, so that's cool. Growing up, what wanted you to get you into wrestling? What are your influences here?
Some of my influences were people like, well, the very first person I ever like saw in wrestling that like drew me to the screen was Melina in WWE. Like her.
Oh, I know who Melina is.
Oh,
That's the height of my teenage boy. You know that split on the ring, that slide in.
Talk about it because
I'm saying
it had me enamored. Okay.
Yeah,
100%. Just watching her and like watching like how she moved and how her character was and how she just didn't care. Like I just loved it so much, and she had muscle with her all the time. So it was cool.
Seriously.
Yeah, Eminem, great. They were a pretty solid tag team as well. And, you know, Melina was no slouch in her own right.
Okay.
I love that when Melina came along in that era of wrestling, and the ruthless aggression era is what they like to call it. That was when they tried to make women's wrestling more prevalent. Yes. Because growing up, you know, I'm a lot older than you, Madam President. Growing up in my era, it was all they just wanted the girls to be Playboy models. That's all that it seemed like the girls wanted to do. There was a couple girls, there was a couple girls that could wrestle, the Litas, the Trish Stratuses, but essentially the Candice Michelles couldn't really wrestle. They just wanted to be seen. And, you know, aside just women's wrestling, I love the fact that it's evolving as much as it has to the point where we're essentially having a whole fucking show around it.
Okay, talk about it.
That's cool. It draws off the I remember when WWE did their whole women's pay-per-view, the Evolution, I believe it was called. Stellar pay-per-view. And I know for one that Paulie, the Hammer, is hella excited that this gets to be his first show. Because let me tell you, before Paulie got his job as commentator for Mega Championship Wrestling, President, he was already messaging me, how do I get a ticket? I want to come to this show. Paulie loves women's wrestling. It's, you know, one of his favorites is Becky Lynch, and that's just Paulie is pumped for this. I'm telling you. He's like, I'll be there on Turmoil. Paulie will be at Turmoil this Thursday. So make sure to, you know, give the Hammer some love on post Turmoil. But I know he's really, really excited for this weekend, as am I, as is Vince, the rest of the Piledriver crew. Tommy said the women put on the best ladder matches. I will agree with that at the last weekend's Money in the Bank. Yes. At last weekend's at Money in the Bank, the men's ladder match was trash. The men's ladder match was so trash compared to like the Shelton Benjamin era events when Shelton Benjamin was fucking running up ladders that were propped in the corner and shit. The women went hard this year.
It was such a stellar show compared.
What'd you say? Say it again.
Did you lose me there? No, yeah. It's, if you compared them, the women's was so much more stellar than the men's ladder match from Money in the Bank. It was no contest.
Better spots, more athleticism, just all around better.
They went crazy.
But Madam President, before we let you go, do you have anything you want to say to Stxrm Garcon, who had something to say to you last week? She does hold a victory over you. I hate to bring this up. Tag team victory, not a solo victory. It's a tag team victory, but it is a victory.
I'm sure that we've all watched people in professional wrestling who have gotten victories over some of the stars of the companies and the whatevers, and they got big heads. But when you break it all down, I'm the reason that Stxrm Garcon is here, and she keeps my name in her mouth. So the only thing I have to say is, how you hating from outside the club and you can't even get in?
Oh, wow. That is...
And we will leave it at that mic drop. Madam President, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you Thursday on Turmoil, and we will definitely see you Saturday at Baddies and the Beast at the college. Thank you again, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Madam President Sebastian LeShawn.
What a way to end that. What a way to end that. I love it.
What a way to end it. What a way. Just, and we will see how that all plays out this Saturday at Baddies and the Beast. I cannot wait.
I'm extra excited now.
Bro,
just for that last second there.
Like I said, there's no front runner. There's no, this is anybody's game, dude.
It is.
It's going to be whoever slips up first, and then their opponent takes the advantage. That's what, something's going to happen that way. Who knows? The only way we'll know is if you show up to LCCC on Saturday.
Don't miss it.
Now, Vince, let's get into some Absolution. You were able to take in Absolution yesterday. You got the Nathan Zagura. That's the match that's what I really want to talk about, if we're being 100% honest.
Okay. We can go for it, man.
I want to talk about some other things because I saw some stuff on Twitter with Derek Dillinger, and it looked like Danhausen had some different kind of face paint on. So I want to know about that and what happened there. But tell me about Filthy Tom Lawler, Josh Bishop, and Nathan fucking Zagura.
Don't forget Sam Holloway as well. Yeah,
that's right. Hardway, Sam Holloway. I apologize.
This match, man, Mike. I went into this. This had been a little bit of a build up from their last show at the Tadmore. Nathan Zagura has been talking a lot of trash against members only, and then members only got Jeff Jarrett involved. And then they brought in that extremely tall guy, Singh Sodom, I think is his last name.
I saw a picture. I forget. It was Dom. It was Dom Guarini was standing next to him like this, and he was just huge.
Yeah,
he was huge.
Yeah, he was a sight to behold. So, but yeah, going into this, I felt like the tables were definitely stacked a little more. I mean, obviously Jeff Jarrett came out with his wife Karen, so they had 5-on-4, and she got involved. I mean, they ended up
had a guitar.
Yeah, they had 3 guitars actually. So a lot of heat too, because there was definitely one that said Cleveland Clowns, and there was a lot of shit talking going on. But let's just go right.
Cheap Heat. I hate Cheap Heat.
I do too. Jeff Jarrett ran his mouth, of course, too, but I actually like his mic skills. Anyways, the match was just all, of course. Match was all over the place. We saw a couple good spots here and there. The one I really want to point out was at one point, Zagura had Malcolm for members only in the corner and gave him the broski boot, the woo woo woo, and kicked him as a little homage to his boy Matt Cardona. So I got excited.
All right.
Then it seemed like members only had it running. They had Zagura in the middle of the ring at one point with two guitars ready to swing, and then out of nowhere, like a sneaky snake, Josh Bishop and Tom Lawler ended up getting the guitars away from them and smoked them with it. Like one of the craziest spots I've seen in a while.
Did it just like explode? I love it when they explode.
Oh,
like sometimes they kind of just hit the head and they kind of just like break, like, or it makes a hole in it. And then like sometimes they just explode, like they fucking put dynamite inside the guitar.
Yeah, it was definitely an explosion, like a shatter. And then Zagura ended up getting the pin for the win. And that was really cool. Zagura looked really good out there. Honestly, I saw a lot of homage that he paid to a lot of his favorite wrestlers too, not only in his moves, but in his gear. He had these like really awesome ZWO, like, NWO and the Zagura World Order, Hogan style lightning tights. And then he had a Razor Ramon elbow pad, but it was blue instead of red, like the blood. I thought that was so cool.
Speaking of, hold on 1 second.
Nope.
I meant to put it over here. All right, I'm back. Just because you said NWO Hulk Hogan, I have something that I wanted to do. I ordered something like 3.5 months ago, and it just showed up because it was a pre-order.
Let's see it. You got it? I want to see it.
I got it right here, buddy. I don't have a knife to open this box.
While you do that, I'll talk about. Oh no, yeah, you got it. Oh, look at that thing.
Little Hollywood action. The light's blinding it.
No, it's cool. You still see it.
He's ripping the shirt. He's ripping the shirt. He's got the NWO belt. The NWO shirt on. He's got the NWO belt around his around the waist. Fanatics exclusive, clean.
Cool. But yeah, so that match was awesome. Definitely really awesome to see Nathan Zagura put into so much work. Just to get like a really solid match. Now, there's something I wanted to point out at the end of this match. We saw members only sitting in the middle of the ring, and Calvin G. Hobbs ended up unlacing his boots and walking away. I don't know if this means that he is done wrestling. It was I'm not gonna lie, it was like from a fan's aspect. It was a very awkward moment. It was a very awkward moment. Like I didn't really like it, to be honest with you. Like it was a very weird, very awkward moment where you don't know if it's if this is like him just saying I'm fucking done. He didn't say anything. There was no mic given. Even Malcolm kind of gave him a weird look. So I don't know.
Wow. Michelle says it was a fun novelty match. Double J is an amazing talent. Zagura was ecstatic to be in that match. Bishop and Lawler killed members only with the guitars.
Yeah,
she loved Zagura's gear, and then on your Calvin statement, she said it was weird.
It was weird. Like I'm glad that somebody else agrees with that. Actually, Michelle, if you can hear me, I actually saw you straight across and was like waving a bunch. I saw you had the best shot for where the ladder matches were. We had the pole right in the middle of our shot.
She can hear you. You just keep freezing. I haven't had a problem hearing you. Your video just keeps freezing.
Okay, cool.
Like it's lagging.
But speaking of ladder match, I kind of want to talk about that one. So the ladder match that they had on originally was a 3-way ladder match for the Intense title. This was Wes Barkley versus Eric Taylor versus Alec Price. So all three guys.
Alec Price was added to the match late, correct?
Correct.
Or was it
kind of just thrown in the mix, which I mean I was hyped on because obviously I talk him up always when we talk about him in AIW, one of my favorites. But all three come out, and then all of a sudden you heard Fonzie's music hit, and he comes out, and then everyone, I swear to God, I could hear so many people when Fonzie came out. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's RVD! Oh my God, it's Sabu! Oh, oh my God, it's this person! Oh my God, it's this person!" And then pardon my French, it was fucking Matthew Justice, dude. And that one of the baddest moments. Like they just got this new like stage set up with a bunch of really cool lights that and go to the music, and they have smoke coming out. It kind of reminds me of like the WCW Monday Nitro look a little bit.
Like is it like does it still they don't have the AIW logos anymore? Like they had the 3 letters on the big boards.
No, they still have the AIW where they come out from either side of the eye, but it's like a bunch of stuff in front now too, and it's a spectacle. It's really cool, actually.
Michelle said I said that too.
Yeah, it's so cool. But anyways, Matthew comes out, he's getting the crowd rolling, everyone's super excited, and then he just proceeds to destroy everyone. I want to say I've never seen Eric Taylor take so much abuse in my time seeing AIW.
Michelle said those are Gringo Loco's lighting rig. He was in the house.
Gringo was there? No way. That's super cool. I didn't even see him there. But yeah, wow. The spot that really blew me away, I think it blew a lot of people away, was Matthew Justice ended up DVDing Eric Taylor off the top of a ladder onto another ladder. Like
that's the video you sent me, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Dude.
That
spot was nuts.
Like he got dropped on his head pretty good, but ended up this was like anybody's match too, because then not only after that happened, Eric Taylor got up and almost had the Intense title off the wire that had it hanging. Then Fonzie gets the ladder out from under Eric. So Eric's dangling, holding the title, like for dear life.
Like how Chad Gable was holding the briefcase?
Yes. And then Matthew Justice spears him off
the ladder, like Edge style?
From where the whole rig was holding everything up, he jumped from that. So from the turnbuckle, and dude, they dropped so hard on the ring, and then all of a sudden you just hear it. You hear this chink, flop. The title is just laying there.
So it's anybody's. It's up for grabs. First person to grab it is the champion.
Matthew Justice and Eric Taylor are dead. They're not moving. Alec Price, I swear for 2 seconds he had his hand on it. He jumped in the ring, slid like a snake, grabbed it, but then you just saw Wes Maserati, Wes Barkley gets a hold of it, grabs it, and you can just hear the crowd go wild. I'm telling you what, Intense title. This is now Wes's game, boys.
I love Wes. I love Wes Barkley. I always have for a long time. When I first started, I think my very first AIW show I went to, I was the one I was most impressed by. He was the one I bought a shirt from. Still got it. 3-ball. It's upstairs. Like that, dude. I've been a fan of Wes for a long time. Yeah. Proud to see that. I did see that on his Twitter today. Maserati Wes Barkley, 2-time AIW Intense champion.
Dude, he was taking shots off the title too. I was so hyped on that video. So yeah, no, congrats, Wes, man. You earned it. And just that match was stellar. That match was a 5-star match all day. Yeah. Okay. Also,
from the videos you sent to the chat, it looked like it. It looked like everything looked solid.
No, it was. I just got one more I really want to talk about, because it wasn't the only bit of gold I saw change hands yesterday, and I'm really excited about this because, one, there's guys in wrestling that you watch and they're heels and they're bad guys, but there's like a certain level to heat where you almost it almost pushes the barrier of being too far, and this is where I have just such animosity towards Money Shot, the tag team title, or should I say ex tag team title holders. They would just throw the titles into the ring like they didn't care about them, and it just had something that bothered me deep down inside. And now I don't have to worry about that because
there's true champions. There's true champions in AIW. There's true tag team champions.
PME ended up taking home the tag team titles last night, buddy, and it was one of the most glorious things anyone could ever see. So well deserved. Philly, Marino, guys, this is just something I know you guys have been waiting for. I think this is now 4 times they've held him. But this time I think it was such well-deserved action. And I mean,
Hey, Vince,
it
you'll
was
appreciate Michelle's comment.
Yeah, no, seriously, they're grease balls. But yeah,
she said she also loves PME. I mean, how can you not love PME if we're being 100% honest?
seriously,
Just Philly Marino's just the powerhouse Marine or Philly, and then the high flying abilities of Marino. Just they complement each other so well. They're so good. Also been mega tag team champions as well. So. Yeah. PME definite Cleveland staple around this area. If you're a fan of tag team wrestling, we won't. I mean, we can get into it if you want to. I really don't care. But you did send some fucking stellar drivers to the fucking chat last night.
Yeah,
Dominic Guarini. It looked like Dominic Guarini was at Shaw Mason. Got a pile driver off the ring,
off the apron into a fucking table, bro. So like. That was crazy.
Dom cares about the Piledriver Podcast. Yep. I swear to God, he does. Pile drivers. And then there was like a spinning cradle package pile driver that was crazy.
Yeah, dude. So Joey Janela ends up showing up at AIW after getting called out by Mikey Montgomery. And he did that. It was like a spinning, just wild pile driver. And I got
Derek does a cradle pile driver like they're a package pile driver like that. I mean, where Derek just does it straight up. So you know he's had beef with Derek in the past. Maybe that he's using it as like imitation,
little nod,
little flattery.
Yeah.
So,
but no, I was actually, it was really cool to see Joey Janela out there. I meant to stop by and say hi to him, didn't get a chance to. And then Mikey Montgomery did a really cool move. He actually got assisted by the ref on he kind of did like a tightrope from turnbuckle to turnbuckle, had the ref hold his hand across it, then ended up doing a moonsault off of the apparatus holding like the wire for the title, right off onto Janela that was standing down on the ground. It was awesome, dude. I was like, wow, that was really, really cool. And then just watching the Dom and Shaw match, that was a lot of time coming, a lot of hate against each other. They were once tag team champions there for a little while. I don't think they held gold, but they were just a really good tag team. But yeah, that match was just, one of those grudge matches where it even got to the point where they're dropping each other on the head through tables. Zay Garcia got angle slammed through one of the doors. That was cool. I don't know why I got such a good kick out of that. And then Shaw ended up winning. And that was a really good win because he he actually took Dom's shoe off, beat the hell out of it with a chair, and then just I want to say he ended up ankle locking him to submission. So, but yeah, congrats to Shaw on that one. And then it was just, dude, it was a great show, honestly. Well, you know what comes next. What comes next. How many pile drivers does it get? So I'm gonna give this one 4.25. I'll be just straightforward. The beginning of it was a little slow, and then once I think once it actually got going, it was like a really good show. From beginning to just a little bit past intermission, and then I felt like the very end got rushed through. There was a lot of storytelling and a lot of ending, but we did get a really cool ender. I did want to talk about this for a moment. So the main event ended up being Isaiah and Chuck Stone, and Chuck Stone ended up retaining. So
damn it.
Yes, everyone. I think everybody said damn it. But
shout out to the Problem as well. I don't know if he's watching or not or hear this, but shout out to the Problem, Isaiah Broner, for following your boys back on TikTok.
Hell yeah, that's our guy. But this is the thing. So Chuck had a lot of things to say. He had a lot of very bad things to say actually about AIW, and then ended up throwing out a challenge. And I was very surprised to hear this challenge being said, but he said he'll take anybody on at any time. And then all of a sudden you had Derek Dillinger, you had Alec Price, and you had Joshua Bishop all show up in the ring. And everyone thought we were going to get a fatal 4-way match added to the card. And then Chuck Stone ran away.
Chuck
like
sucks, Michelle said. Chuck sucks.
Like a chicken. Like a buck chicken. But Mr. Thorne wasn't going to have that. And the owner of AIW laid down the law and put out a match for the Absolute title at Against the World. So in August, Chuck Stone has to retain or try to retain his title, defend his title against the top 3 wrestlers in AIW. And I hope he's shaking in his little burger pants. Because
Jose in the chat, just give the belt to Derek Dillinger.
Yes, I agree. I mean, let's just be real. But anyways, it was cool. It was definitely a good show. I was really pleased. I was a little bummed I didn't get my table seats like I normally do. So it was a little interesting. Kind of didn't like how the seating was arranged because on Ticketmaster it did have actual seats, but when we showed up, they were like, sit wherever you want. And I did see like people being kind of dicks about, stuff like that. We also had some pretty like hateful people behind us. Like, I don't know. There's just like, I guess certain levels of fans that I'm, interested in being around, and the guys behind us were just a little too harsh. But anyways, great show. Thanks AIW, and shout out Fonzie, dude. He showed up and really just put on one of the best shows. Bill Alfonso, dude, you're out there just still killing it. And he literally led the charge for almost everybody out there that took home some gold. So
hell yeah.
How was RSW?
RSW. Let's talk about it. All right. So last night, the Mega Crew and I, Tommy, Colt, Tommy and Donna, went to see the RSW shock to the system as they returned to Parma. And all right, let me find. Okay. So originally, we were supposed to have a match where Matt Taylor was getting a shot at the RSW Internet Championship. That did not happen. MV Young was not able to attend the showing. Therefore, he was not, obviously unable to defend his title. Matthew Taylor got to take on an up-and-comer called Lane Callie is his name.
Huh.
He was pretty solid. The guiding light kicked his ass.
Okay.
What else did we have? Okay. We had the Mega God in RSW, Chris Onyx versus Theo Strong. And let me tell you that this match was pretty solid. If you remember, Theo Strong is a real big hippie vibe, cool dude. Onyx came out obviously. Hold on, I'll go back. All right, Vince, you're familiar with the movie Revenge of the Nerds?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember Booger?
Yeah.
That's who Lane Callie looked like. Like he looked like Booger's son.
No way.
I have pictures. I'll send them to the fucking channel.
Please send them, dude. I'm gonna have to be thinking about that. That's cool.
It was funny. But yeah, he put on a solid match with Matthew Taylor. Nothing against them. Nothing against the kid. But yeah, he definitely looked like Booger from The Revenge of the Nerds, which works in his favor because that's an old ass movie. And not many people remember it. But he's younger. It was a pretty solid match. But Theo Strong and Chris Onyx put on a clinic. Both powerhouses, both get strong men here. Let me just tell you though, Vince, and I know you've seen it before. Chris's DDT, that springboard DDT off the rope. It was good last night. It was clean.
Hell yeah. That's our guy.
Bro, so clean. But Theo Strong able to pick up the win. He just overpowered Chris at certain times. At one point, we seen Theo do it last time RSW came, where he literally picked his opponent up from a sitting, like they were laying down face first, and he picked him up to the point of a German suplex. It was a great match. It was a great match. Just powerhouses, both men in here just fighting for it. Chris Onyx looking for that win in RSW, looking to establish himself there. I love to see it. I mean, like I said, big fan.
Yeah.
We'll wait for that one. We'll wait for that one. All right. So I don't think I can't remember who these guys. Oh, I'm gonna have to look. I'm sorry. Misery Inc. All right, is a team that was on the card, and originally they were supposed to face STH. I know that is not who they faced. They faced a tag team that was thrown together. JP. They faced JP and Aaron Alloway.
Okay, cool.
They faced JP and Aaron Alloway. It was Aaron Alloway making his RSW debut, so that was cool. All right, let me tell you about this team. Misery Inc. I'm not sure on their names. I don't remember. They didn't say their names, I don't believe. And I didn't get a chance to meet them. I think they took off, before Theo Strong. I was like, that's not his name. They were pretty solid. They growled a lot, which, we were making fun of. Obviously, me and Tommy were giving them shit.
Yeah.
The one kid, though, all right, the one kid had a mullet.
Okay.
And a black tank top. And his shorts, like his wrestling shorts, were black and purple, like split down the middle. Let me tell you that all you needed to do was put a mustache on this kid, and he looked like fucking Dominic Mysterio. Okay. Like if you ordered Dominic Mysterio on Wish, that's what you got.
Hey, Dollar Store Dom.
Oh, damn, that's such a good one. Why did I think of that last night? Oh man. Yeah, no, but he was good. They were a good tag team, dude. They were really jumpy around. JP did great. Aaron Alloway did great. We did get this, the Aaron Alloway stuff. We see the roll through neck breaker was good. We did not get all the way DDT, but it was good. Tommy in here, straight out of the trailer park. That's who, that's dude. They were rough, dude. But they were pretty solid wrestlers. They weren't bad. I'm just,
cool.
And then we got a tag team match that I had been really excited for. At one point, remember last week when we went over this, I said I didn't know who Pretty Tough was. I was like, I'm not familiar. Remember that?
Yeah.
I definitely know who the fuck Pretty Tough is. I couldn't tell in the picture. Colin Crew and DLA are pretty tough. We are very familiar with these guys versus the Golden Boys. And let me tell you that this was a tag team match, son.
Okay. Cool.
This was a great match. The Golden Boys had the crowd behind them. Obviously, these Pretty Tough. They came out in like some sweet kimonos. Like they had some sweet kimonos on, dog. I'm not even bullshitting. But they tried to overpower at one point. I thought they were going to go. They had RJ down on the ground, and they were going to go. DLA was up on the second rope, and it looked like he was going for a splash. He gets up. He throws a suck-it chop. He jumps for the splash. RJ rolls out of the way, and out of nowhere, Jimmy James catches this man with an RKO cutter in midair. It was pretty solid.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah, dude.
It was pretty solid. We got the nice double drop kick into the corner like Finn Balor does by Jimmy James, followed up by a swanton bomb from RJ Jonesy to pick up the dub and take Pretty Tough out to just a raucous ovation from the crowd.
Cool. Oh yeah. Love RJ.
Yeah. I love RJ and Jones. I love RJ and Jimmy. They're great talents, man. They've been, friends of the pod. They're good. Jimmy asked when they could come on and hang out with us. So we're definitely going to get them on soon. We will be seeing RJ Jonesy back at Mega on Thursday at Turmoil, I believe, this week. But it was a great tag team match, dude. The next match we had, so it was for RSW's Eastern Continental Championship, I believe is how you say it. It's Shane Kryzak. Yeah, Eastern Continental. Shane Kryzak is the new Eastern Continental Champion, and he comes back and he puts this belt on the line against a foe that he's fought in RSW plenty of times, the Ultra Star, Ashton Day.
Oh, man. This was the one I was actually really bummed I missed, man.
All right, and Vince, this is one of those that you would have liked. I liked this match, but I hate to say this. The crowd was not underneath this match. This was a technical wrestling dream. These guys wrestled, man. They wrestled. Locks, headlocks, getting him out. Ashton, obviously, king of the fucking headlocks.
Yes.
Kryzak getting him back and flip. It was a technical wrestling match. It wasn't full of flips and shit. It wasn't full of high spots. It was a technical wrestling match. And unfortunately, the crowd wasn't prepared to handle it. That wasn't their forte. Sometimes you have that. Sometimes you don't.
Yep.
It's understandable, but it was in my opinion, whereas as I've gotten older, I've learned to respect the technicality of wrestling. So when you get those technical matches like a Daniel Bryan who can just manipulate the holds and do all that, I love that shit. It's not as exciting, but it's like, holy shit, how did he just flip his arm like that? Like,
yeah, no, that's like you said, like you don't have wrestling without.
Tommy said I had a great nap, and Heaven said Tim Deadass told both of them that in West Virginia crowd would have ate that up, but not in Parma. It's in Heaven, it's like I said, it's give and take because I liked it. It wasn't a bad match. I'm not pissed off about it. It was a good match. It's just everything else in RSW was, a little bit more extreme, a little bit more on the, crazier side. So it's fine. It was a good match. Shane Kryzak able to retain over Ashton Day, unfortunately, but that's okay. Ashton Day, after getting turned on by Aaron Alloway at Mega, he's just having a rough week, bro.
Seriously, poor guy.
So, I want to look. I'm going to talk about the main event, but I want to talk about these another match that I'm going to save it for last.
Okay,
it was the fucking match of the night. The next match I want to talk about is obviously the grudge match, the match that we were there for. We were in the Colt Johnson cheering section. Colt Johnson versus the hairy toothpick himself, JD Smooth.
Hate that guy.
This was a good match, man. This was a good match, back and forth. JD Smooth had a lot of shit to talk to Tommy about Donna, who was sitting next to me. So obviously I jumped in on the conversation because, fuck that hairy toothpick.
Yeah.
But it was good, man. It was a good until Raven showed up.
Oh, that's right.
Until Raven showed up. Raven in JD's corner. And I mean, he came out with him. So it's not like he just showed up out of left field, but he didn't really make his presence known. He tried to steal Colt's hat at the beginning of the match, and Colt wasn't having that. We got the hat back to Mama Johnson during the match. Yeah. No, Brandon, no, there was. He had friends and family. There were actually people that told me they were friends with Colt Johnson willingly. Just say it.
He didn't pay for him?
No, he did not pay for them. So, it was a good match, man. Colt, they ended up getting outside. They ended up slamming, heads off tables into those sections where the merch was. Mars.
The dartboard again? Was there a dartboard spot again?
No, there was no dartboard spot, and we did not get a hot dog spot again in this one either. I was a little upset about that. But I want to look and see. What was it? But anyways, they were outside battling all around the ring here and there. At one point, Colt Johnson slammed his head off the table and said, "Hey, buy my merch. Buy some of this merch over here." Who was it? It was Mars. Okay, that's what I was checking. Referee Mars in the ring, giving these guys a little leeway. She knows it's a grudge match. She knows that, these guys got a score to settle. So she's giving a leeway. She's giving them kind of a lackadaisical count, so to speak. She's letting them fight. And they're fighting all over, man. They're fighting all over until the end. They get in the ring. Colt Johnson throws him in that Southern Sleeper, dude. Throws it in, locks it in. JD starts going down until Raven hops up on the ring. Distracts the ref. Mars has to come over, tell him to get down. Obviously, Colt is like, what are you doing? Tosses the knucks in. Tosses the brass knucks to JD Smooth, and he lays out Colt Johnson for the 1, 2, 3. But that's not where the story ends, Vince.
Oh man.
After this, Raven and JD, they're in the ring, and they're starting to take him out. They're starting the fight. They're just essentially just beating Cole Johnson down here at this point. And out comes the savior, Aaron Alloway. It seems he's given up on Mr. Day and went to find new help in greener pastures. He has essentially teamed up with Cole Johnson. He helps Cole Johnson clear the ring from Raven. JD Smooth, of course, in hairy toothpick fashion, runs away and leaves Raven to get destroyed by Cole Johnson and Aaron Alloway in the ring.
Of course, a chicken will hang out with a raven.
Damn it. Yeah. Two birds with a feather flocking together.
Two birds stoned at once, man. But man, so we've seen Alloway and Johnson in tag format before at Mega when they've used the wheel. Have. So it's not surprising to see them working so well right off the rip. And honestly, I would love to see more of it. So this was kind of awesome to hear.
Yeah, Aaron Alloway coming out, and it was announced. It was I don't know if it's been officially announced. The challenge was laid out by Cole Johnson. He said, "Seems like Mr. JD Smooth only has one friend in Raven." Cole Johnson says he has lots of friends, and Aaron Alloway proves it, and he lays down next time RSW comes, I believe it's in September, that we will get a tag team match. There's been a challenge laid out for a tag team match. Cole Johnson and Aaron Alloway versus JD Smooth and Raven Aura.
Cool. That'll be awesome. I'm excited for that one.
Oh, no. Boys in the chat. Boys will be boys. Okay, I'm going to show it to you, Vince. Here we go. Tommy, Brandon Xavier, Cole Johnson makes you relevant again. Brandon Xavier, he needed help against Raven and JD.
No.
So Brandon, you guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Tommy. Don't worry, Tommy. You will not have to sit next to Brandon. Or Brandon, don't worry. You will not have to sit next to Tommy this week. The Hammer, Paulie, will be at Turmoil, calling on the ones and twos up top with Tommy. But it was a pretty solid match. I hope the tag September 21st in the chat by Heaven. So hopefully the challenges will get accepted and the match will get signed and we will get this tag team match. That's what I'm hoping for anyways.
Seriously.
The main event of the show, obviously, it was the last match. I'm going to talk about that now, though, because in my opinion, the main event was another match. Dustin Alexander comes out with Nicolia. I actually got to talk to her and shake her, and she shook my hand before this stuff happened. And Nicolia. That's how we say her name. Because remember, we didn't know how to say it.
Yeah, seriously.
So, Nicolia. So Tommy, what's that stand for, Tommy? Tommy, this is what Tommy started calling himself last week, the BBC, but it stands for something else.
I almost don't want to know what that stands for.
Well, it's the best broadcasting commentator or something like that. Like he's something. Anyways, they come out, Dustin and Nicolia, and they're standing in the ring, and Dustin asks for a microphone, and he essentially says that we don't respect him as the RSW heavyweight champion, that we don't care about him as the RSW heavyweight champion, that we had the nerve to disrespect him, his wife, and his child. And then he looked right over at me and was like, I'm talking to you. I looked back and I said, I never disrespected your child. I would never disrespect your child.
Never the child.
You and your wife, definitely. I definitely did that.
I mean, there's a reason why I don't ever remember his name.
They gave us a Piledriver table. What the hell did you think was going to happen? Brandon's best commentator. That's what it stands for.
Okay.
So Brandon's best commentator and the Hammer, the BBC and the Hammer will be live on Thursday. But yeah, so essentially we don't respect him. He doesn't care about us. F Parma. He might as well leave. He doesn't really give a shit. Whatever. Look, I definitely disrespected him. We definitely was talking shit about him it's fine. It's fine. Let me tell you though that he had to put the title on the line against this just behemoth of a man. All right. I gotta look up his name again because I don't want to mess it up. It's Zeeko. Zeeko. All right. This dude gave off, he was like 6'3", 6'4", probably like 260, 270, just built. Just big motherfucker.
Okay.
He looked like Miro. Like he had a Miro type vibe, like the way he came out, the just powerhouse, dude. Powerhouse. I was like, holy shit, this dude's about to just show up and take the title. He almost did. Let me tell you. He almost did. Dustin was able to squeak out the victory here. Nicolia definitely made her presence known once or twice. Again, overall, a solid match, not the result I was hoping for because obviously he was talking shit to me. So now me and Dustin Alexander got beef, apparently.
Oh, great.
It's fine. It's not the first time.
Versus Patrick Hayes. Now it's Dustin
Alexander. Dustin Alexander. Hey, at least
champion. What's with you and all these heavyweight champions?
real recognized real. That's all I'm going to say.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm going to say. So, it was a good match, man. It was a good match.
Okay,
but
so
the match of the fucking night.
Oh,
100%. Frank, best chops in the match came from the crowd at one point. Zico did grab Dustin Alexander, and Frank had some kids with him, some little kids. I'm talking little kids. They were, I don't know, how old were they, Frank? Frank will put in the chat how old they were. They were, I'm not going to do it. Scott Subby, stop pissing off champions. I forget that you can't see the comments. I forget you can't see the comments as they come in, Vince.
No, it's okay. I like that you have to relay them to me too, though.
Yeah. Scott says stop pissing off champions. But yeah, Frank had some kids in the crowd, 10 and 6. And at one point, Zico grabbed Dustin and told these kids to chop him. And they laid some chops on Dustin. It was pretty funny.
Cool.
Getting the crowd involved. It was cool. Little kids, they had a good time. But yeah, it was a solid match. But like I said, the best match of the night. And let me tell you that I'm not I won't say I'm surprised because that's a shitty word that makes it sound like I'm, disrespecting these wrestlers or something. I'm not, because I'm very familiar with Big Nasty Vinny Maverick, and this fucking dude is nasty. His name says it all. The dude can go. So when we announced it last week, it was announced as Vinny Maverick versus Jackson Cade. Well, apparently, there was a promo put out, and Jackson Cade has been pushed away. He is no longer Jackson Cade. He has discovered that he has some African heritage or some African royal heritage, and the Jackson Cade is, essentially dead. He will now be known as King Brasa.
Wow. Okay.
And let me tell you that King Brasa, just as big as Vinny Maverick, comes out with this. It looked like an MF Doom mask. If you're familiar with the rapper MF Doom, he's got like a cool like Dr. Doom kind of mask with the mouth cut out. It looked like an MF Doom mask, and it had like crown extensions, kind of like it looked like a crown. Obviously, he's royalty, but then it had like purple dreads hanging off of it, like they were black with like purple tips on the end. He looked fucking sweet.
Hell yeah!
These fucking guys put on a match, dude. I'm talking big giant chops, big giant suplexes, big meaty men bumping meat. At one point, they got off the top, and there was a belly-to-belly from the top rope. Sure. Vinny Maverick did a moonsault from the second rope, middle rope moonsault from Vinny Maverick.
Wow.
Think about that for a second.
That's a big dude moonsault. Like,
exactly. Big dude moonsault. Huge, like just fucking phenomenal match, dude. It's not one like if this show would have sucked, it did not suck. If the show would have sucked in general, this match would have saved the fucking show.
Yep.
Like this match was an epic, dude. That's look, Vinny's wife's in the chat. I already know that's Vinny's wife's in the chat. I got videos. I'm gonna be posting a TikTok here in a couple days. I've given it to say I got 2 or 3 drafted up already for the first couple matches. And but yeah, this match will definitely get its own TikTok. This match was fucking great.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I mean, we've seen
Like
Vinny
even Tommy says it. Even Tommy said it. Match of the night. Match of the night. Ground shake. There was a spot. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hate Tommy so much, Vince, and you know this. So it was the belly to belly off the top rope. They belly to belly. So I think Brasso was on the top rope and he was sitting there and he was gonna jump, double axe handle or something. Vinny got up and got up there and grabbed him and kind of just threw him. Vinny didn't climb up the ropes. He just threw him over his head, like belly to belly style. But when they both landed, Tommy's ass fell out of his chair in the front row. Like, I fucking hate him so much sometimes.
Oh, shit.
Knocked Tommy out of his chair. Yeah, Frank said it was a ground shaking. Heaven loved that fucking match. It was, dude, it was good. Man, it was good.
Awesome.
So,
that's so cool.
That being said, I'll give my rating for RSW. I will totally do this. I'm going to pull right out of you and give RSW. I was going to go 4, but you went a 2.5, so RSW gets a 2.5. 4.25 for RSW. Shock to the system. Great show. Great show, man. Great show. Storytelling was there. Obviously, like I said, King Brasso versus Big Nasty Vinny Maverick was a match of the night. It was crazy.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man.
It was good shows over the weekend. I can't, express the fact enough that, we got all kinds of cool stuff going on at Mega. RSW showing up from West Virginia to Parma and hanging out. It's so cool just to have another promotion around. You're going to AIW. Again, we say this every week, but we'll keep saying it every week until everybody's listening. Northeast Ohio is popping right now for wrestling. For independent wrestling. There's so many promotions. There's so many opportunities around here. Colt Johnson, mega fan. The earth shook when they did that. I know, dude. It was wild. It was so wild. But yeah, there's so many promotions going on. But like I said, let's not forget this Saturday, LCCC. EFW is on July 27th. Brandon Xavier in the chat. EFW July 27th. Yep. We will be at that. We'll be there. It'll be, maybe I might be in the World Series. Zoe's going to the World Series of softball.
Ooh, congrats, Zoe.
Yeah. Let me tell you though, real quick, I'm going to go off wrestling topic and brag on my kid real quick. So we had a tournament this weekend. She didn't do too hot at the plate. Her batting was not there this weekend. That's fine. It happens. Hall of Famers only hit the ball 1 out of 4 times. But let me tell you that this kid was a fucking monster behind the plate as a catcher. She gunned out 2 girls trying to steal second. She threw a girl out at third. She blocked all kinds of balls. Nothing really got past her. Just top-notch defense from Zoe Monroe this weekend. They put her on third base at one point. A girl smoked a line drive, Vince. I'm talking smoked it. This ball came off the bat hot, right at her. She jumped to the side, made the catch, able to get back to third to tag the girl that was on third before she got back. So Zoe got her own double play.
Cool.
The kid was on defense A+ this weekend. Unfortunately, we didn't do too hot today in the bracket play. We lost our first game. We made a killer run to coming back. We were down by 7. We ended up coming back, only losing by 3. So it happens. But last time we played this team earlier in the season, the team that beat us today. Last time they beat us 18-2. Today they beat us 10-7.
That's a lot better, man.
You know what I'm saying? Improvements. That's all I can ask for. And the girls did a great job. Everybody stayed in it. It was, yeah. I would say Donna's in the chat. She's a witness to Zoe's defense. Big shout out to Tommy and Donna for coming and hanging out and checking out Zoe's game. I appreciate the shit out of that. I know she does too. And I did see your comment, Donna. I won't put it up there. We do have LCC on Saturday. Let's not forget, though, that right after LCC, we will be at Seven Hills Home Days on Sunday. Friday night, a couple of your boys, myself included, will be out at Seven Hills to hang out, check out Home Days, pass out some flyers. I believe there's a wing eating contest.
Ooh.
We'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure you're right. And Tommy said, I just wanted his Sour Patch Kids. You're 100% right. And if we're being honest, I didn't even open them. What's his name? Yunky? One of Colt's friends, Yunky? I think that's what they call him. His name's Andrew. But he opened the Sour Patch Kids, not me. So, and I bought freeze-dried Skittles. They were delicious. But yeah, we have that. I think they're having a wing eating contest on Friday at Seven Hills Home Days, and I'm pretty sure a few wrestlers will be involved in that. Yeah, do I say that with a J or a Y sound though? She put it in the chat and she spelled it out for me, but it's Juhnke. Is it junkie or yunky?
So it sounds like it's spelled junkie. Sour Patch Kids junkie.
Sour Patch Kids junkie. It's Y. It's Yunky. It's Yunky. I thought it was Yunky because they didn't tell me that last time. But anyways, it was fun, man. It was a good time. And like I said, this weekend we got Seven Hills Home Days on Friday. We'll be hanging out. There's a wing eating contest. We'll be checking out the whole shindig there. From what I hear, Vincent, you're from the area, so look, there you go. Yunky. That's what I said. They put it in the chat, like, there you go. She phonetic it for me. But like from what I've heard, you're from the area. We're in the same area as me, bud. It's essentially an apple festival.
Okay.
It's just called Seven Hills Home Days, which is their little festival. That's fine, same thing. Cool. So I'm pretty pumped to go hang out there. We'll be there Friday night, like I said. Saturday we will be at Lorain County Community College for Baddies and the Beast. Big day, double show, and then Sunday we will be wrestling at Seven Hills Home Day. Cody Gray will be eating the wings. Cody Gray will be in the wing eating contest. Yours truly will be refereeing the wing eating contest. And it'll be a great time. So it should be a lot of fun. And then, like I said, we'll be wrestling Sunday at Seven Hills Home Days. I don't know who's the mat. There's no card. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens when we get there. I don't know what Brandon has in store, but I guarantee you that it will be worth to come watch the show. If you're out that way, come Seven Hills Home Days and watch some wrestling.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't have anything else to say. I'll just make sure you get some tickets if you don't have your tickets yet for Baddies and the Beast this coming Saturday at Lorain County Community College.
Hell yeah.
General admission, double show tickets, $25. You get two shows. That's $12.50 a piece. $12.50 a piece. It's great. It's a great deal for a day of wrestling. I hope to see some people there. If you see us, say hi. No problem, Heaven. I'm sorry we all had to split. Sorry it couldn't be the whole group, but we got to cover this wrestling. Vinny, yes, we will be in Seven Hills. Big nasty Vinny Maverick in the chat. Thanks for watching, bud. Appreciate you. Great fucking match last night. I'll say it again just in case you weren't fucking watching while I said it. Great fucking match last night. But yes, we will be at Seven Hills Home Days this Saturday or this Sunday coming up directly the day after Baddies and the Beast. But yeah, if you see us out anywhere, 90% of the time we have Piledriver Podcast shirts on. We're not hard to miss. Say what's up. We love to see people and meet new people and hang out with friends and people and fans and stuff like that. And that's really all I got, man. Vince, you got anything for the people?
Well, yeah, actually, I got I try to give a shout out every show, and this I actually got a special little bit of shout out, and it kind of will actually help a question or something you were interested in earlier. So, I think this week's shout out's gonna go to Danhausen, man. We got to meet Danhausen over the weekend again. It was really cool. He actually remembered me. Said, "Hey, great to see you again. Nice to see a AIW fan. This and that." It was really nice to my wife, who was a little timid around him. I thought that was kind of cute. We were both wearing Danhausen shirts. Got a photo with her, but you could tell she was like, because he's doing the little scary cursed. Yep. So it's really cute though. I'm not gonna lie, it's like one of my favorite photos of her. And then this is why I'm giving him a shout out. So, he's so nice. We got the very nice Danhausen. But then when he came out for his intro, it wasn't very nice. It was very evil Danhausen. We saw not Danhausen, but the curse of Danhausen arrive to AIW again. So he was wearing his old face paint, much more darker side of Danhausen.
It's like a skull. It looks like skull, like
kind of almost like a Punisher,
Yeah,
dude,
like the black on the cheeks to make it look sunken. Yeah, I saw it. It looked fucking creepy.
Yeah, he had 6 men come out with his face paint on, as normal, with the red under his eyes and stuff, and they all had this, like, I thought it was okay. So just being a simple mark on my own terms, I didn't realize AIW was Danhausen's old home, and Danhausen had a different gimmick. And instead of cursing people, he just spiked people. And I thought it was a wizard, like a wand. No, it was this freaking spike that he came out with. And
it was
like
a railroad tie or something, like
more just like something you would stab a werewolf with if you were trying to kill it, man. Like, it was like, it's this long, it was wild. He actually ended up trying to freaking stab Derek with it in their match and stuck it through at the turnbuckle. I was laughing about that, actually. They almost forgot to take it out to the next match. One of the ring attendants grabbed it. But yeah, again, just shout out Danhausen, man. He was a great dude to meet again. Really knows how to, like, treat his fans really, really, really well. I got him to sign a figure of mine, and he actually took he didn't have a line at all. Jeff Jarrett had a line almost out the door. Danhausen, I walked right up to Danhausen. We BS'd for a little bit. I asked him, one of my favorite things to ask all wrestlers when I get to meet them is, how was your trip in? Because let's be frank, a lot of people don't even bother to ask the people that come and, take their time to be in our, smaller promotion.
Yeah, if you're not from here.
Yeah, they're traveling and doing this. They could, be anywhere, and instead they're coming and hanging out and doing cool stuff with us. But just BS'd with them for a little bit. He actually drew a really cool little design on my box. Just all around treasure, man. To be honest, I will admit though, I did miss the non-cursing. He didn't curse anybody.
Yeah.
But he did try to use the teeth on Derek and ended up getting the teeth on him. So Derek did the teeth to Danhausen and then punched Danhausen, and watching the teeth just explode everywhere, it was beautiful.
Oh man, Piledriver exclusive. Wop 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 wop. Shout out to Iron Tiger Dice K in the chat. Konnichiwa, gentlemen. What's up, buddy? How are you? But breaking news, breaking Piledriver exclusive, signed for Sunday at Seven Hills Home Days. Cody Gray versus Vinny Maverick.
Wow. Let's awesome.
Go.
Cool. Wait, is this, what if we did that, or maybe a wing competition, Cody Gray versus Vinny Mac? I don't know.
Maybe we'll see. We don't know who's in the wing competition. Brandon did verify that Cody Gray will be eating the wings. I don't know if he's competing against other Seven Hills Home Dayers. I don't know if he's competing against other wrestlers. I don't know. I just know they told me I'm going to referee, and I'm going to tell you who wins. So we're going to see who can eat the most wings.
Cool.
Tommy in the chat with that Piledriver exclusive news reaction. Holy shit is right. What a signing. What a match. That'll be great. Make sure you get out here. Seven Hills Home Days. Get to Baddies and the Beast first, though, on this Saturday. But that is it for us tonight on the Piledriver Podcast. We will see you guys. Well, you'll see me in the ring this Thursday on Turmoil doing a little referee action. Oh, and Seven Hills Home Days is free. Seven Hills Home Days is free. It is free. So you can just come, hang out, watch some free wrestling.
Free wrestling.
But yeah, so this Thursday, make sure you tune into Mega Championship Wrestling Facebook page for the Go Home show for Baddies and the Beast. Get all up to date so you know everything that's going on before we hit LC3 with this Saturday. That's all I got. Vince, that's it.
That's it. I got nothing.
I'm the best in the world. That is my boy V-Rad. We are out of here, and we will see you guys all next week.